All right, here we go. Hello, America. Whoa, here we're back up. Now I forget the opening line.
It's Hello, America.
Hello, America. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's why I'll be bringing them in here. Woo! That's a tough one to remember. Ready? All right. Hello, America. My name is Dirk Harkins, your host of IGY6, People Helping People, where I talk to ordinary people who do extraordinary things. And if you can see this gentleman sitting to my right now, you know he is an ordinary person who does extraordinary things. He really needs no introduction. He's been the host. He's been the co-host. He's been the guest. And I do believe Drake's trying to get him trained up on the keyboards and the mics and the cameras as well. We're just going to keep him as a regular
guy.
here.
Yeah.
And that being said, we have Mark Smith with us here today. Mark, I really appreciate you coming on here again tonight with us. You know, hope you're not nervous being in here in front of the camera or anything.
Well, brother, I appreciate you having me back. And no, I'm not nervous about the camera. I think we'll get through it.
Yeah.
But no, everything is really well. Everything's doing really well with everything that's going on. But definitely appreciate you bringing me back. So we've had a couple really nice sessions here. Been able to talk about a lot of great things, God being first and foremost at the forefront of everything that we've talked about. And I'm really excited to talk about tonight what we got in store, to let the community know what's coming, how we can help, and some of the situations, again, that people find themselves in. Like we talked about last time I was here, the situations that you found yourself in, how the Lord brought you out of that, all the things that had transpired to bring you where you're at today. I think continuing on with this is a great blessing. And again, I think it's going to touch a lot of people that's watching today.
Yeah, I do believe that tonight's, you'll hear my be his message, God's message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that you'll hear a lot on this, especially when we're going with the topic that we're talking about tonight. But one thing I want to do is thank you again, Mark, for coming on here, man. I always know that this is going to be good because I know this is people helping people, and I know your passion and your commitment to do that.
Yes.
And when you're on here with me, I just feel it, and I know that that our seed's going to be planted. Somebody's going to hear something that they need to hear.
Yeah.
And I'd want to thank you again for just coming on.
Oh, like I said, bro, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, and you're so welcome. Again, I know it's a podcast, and we are sitting in front of a camera, but in our small community, our small county, people know who we are. And again, what an opportunity to be able to come on and say, hey, listen, here's another way that God has opened up doors and we're able to help.
Yeah.
Here's another way that we can touch the community. So again, it's my pleasure. And I thank you for allowing me to be here to do it.
Yeah, right on. All right. Hey, before we get started, just in case, give everybody just a little background about yourself here. Where you grew up and what you've done along the way, and what you're doing now, and then we'll talk about how how we met each other through this whole process.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was on here. I can't remember for the first time with you about a month and a half or 2 months ago, something like that now. But it said born and raised right here in Harrison County. Started my life in New Athens. And of course, I'm a graduate of Cadiz High School. Go Cardinals, okay? For all of you that are go Cardinals, right? So, but anyway, and after that, I got into law enforcement. My dad was in law enforcement here in Cadiz. And not too long after that, I joined the Army. I was in there from 97 to 03. Come back and just kind of got right back in the groove with law enforcement. Got saved in 2004. While watching The Passion of the Christ, we talk a little bit about that, how that movie literally changed my life, turned my life upside down. Everything changes for me, right? Just in just one moment, everything is so much better across the board. My marriage, my friendships, my work, everything, right? And, from there on, I began to pursue ministry. I went to the Ohio School of Ministry in Columbus. I started at Harbor of Hope Church in St. Clairsville, did some ministry there for a while. I left law enforcement in 2010 to pursue full-time ministry. Was able to come back here to Cadiz and started a youth group at Scott Church called SWAT, Soldiers Working as a Team, based on 2 Timothy 2:3. Yeah. Join with me in suffering as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. Had a lot of kids from this community come to that. Left there, went back to Harbor of Hope, work at Harrison Central. All those from 2013 to 2025, doing truancy, court stuff, trying to connect families with the community and the things that, can help them in their hard and difficult times. All the while still in ministry, coaching football, doing all those kind of things. But again, staying connected with kids, right? Yeah. And with families and trying to, be a part in any way. It's amazing. Like, Dirk, you and I, we talk a lot. You can do a lot of things, right? and you can go out and you can be a part of the community. You can coach, pray with people, pray with kids, do funerals, all those kind of things that you do in the community, and still look in the mirror and be like, I can do more. Yeah. And it's not about an unnecessary pressure or like you putting a certain weight on your shoulders, but you're like, I want to do more. I can do more. But again, too, and then last year, I started with Sheriff Pubble. I'm his jail administrator now. And I think that's where we're going to lead us into some great conversation tonight about what we have in store for this community at the jail, not being incarcerated or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Please not being incarcerated, but just in ways that we can help the community and some of the things that we might have going on out there. But that's just, like I said, a little bit about me. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Christina. I got 3 wonderful boys. I love this community. I love being with the kids in this community, coaching with Coach Hayes, coaching football and stuff like that.
One of our Dancing with the Stars.
The runner-up I think he was this year. But again, I think it's just a great community to grow up in. I know, so we touched a lot on that. I don't think we can touch on it enough. Everybody can point out the bads, right? But it takes real people that really care to point out the goods and say, we live in a great place and we're surrounded by good people that want to help each other, like people helping people.
Yeah. Well, that's an awesome testimony right there. Just your entire background from a young age, going to the service, coming, in law enforcement, going to the service and coming back and continuing to serve your community, your country, your kids, your church, everything that you're involved with. That's just a great people helping people story. So
absolutely.
That's amazing. So, hey, with that being said, let's get started on this topic we're about to talk about. You're talking about some exciting things coming out to the sheriff's office. And there was a time in my life where, it was a complete mess. Like we said earlier, my mess is his message. There was a time where I sat on the edge of the bed and wondered what my next move might be. Thought suicide might be my best option. And I'm not the only person. That story's not unique. We have that number 22 a day, but
right.
By the grace of God, it introduced something into my life that was called TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation.
Yes.
And at that point in time in my life, being where I was, them thoughts in my head and these migraine headaches and some of these addictions and things that had a pretty good grip on me, I didn't think that there was nothing that was going to change that, especially some magnetic stimulation and non-invasive, non-painful treatment that was going to do that for me. So for those out there that don't know what the TMS is, transcranial magnetic stimulation, what machine we're specifically going to talk about tonight is the Sonal machine. It's like the wave neuro machine that we had at the sheriff's office before.
Yeah.
But it's just a little bit upgraded. You know how we used to use the pen drive to start that machine?
Yeah.
We would do the 10-minute eyes closed EEG, send that off, then they would send it back because everybody's unique. Their cadence is unique. So used to do a pen drive in there. Now it's more sophisticated. They have a model now where the helmet's a little more comfortable. It's a little more lighter. And you use an app, a Sonal app on your phone.
Yeah.
And you just come in every day. Once you download that app, you hit start. But it's the same thing, 30 treatments for 30 days.
Harco Media is proud to partner with Mizer Printing Graphics. Are you ready to meet your New Year's resolution and shop local? With competitive pricing and quick turnaround, Mizer Printing Graphics is here to help. Family owned and operated since 1986, they take pride in making your ideas come to life. Everything from birthday and wedding invitations, campaign signs, banners, envelopes, to order forms. They've got you covered. All you got to do to get started is call or email today. Access the email or the phone number or the Facebook page in the description of the show. Once again, Harco Media is proud to partner with Mizer Printing and Graphics.
But that's the difference, and you just get a monthly subscription for that Sonal machine. So we could help unlimited people out here at the sheriff's office with that. That's how you and I met. I knew of you, and I've seen you in the gym and on the sidelines for the football games and different places that I've seen you out in the public helping people. And then this technology brought us really closer together, and a friendship and a bond. It can't be broke. We're sitting here as iron sharpening iron right now.
Right,
you know what I mean? So and we do that a lot. You send me a Bible verse every day, and I really appreciate that as well. And sometimes I need to read them and hear them every day, but there's some of them that is right when I need them. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So,
yeah.
But with that being said, this here, some of your experiences with TMS, and we'll just kind of get into this and how you was introduced to TMS.
Right. Well, see, in 2021, I mean, you got to figure it's just a year after the big COVID strike hit our country, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a September 11th moment, really. COVID shuts the country down. Our kids are out of school for 6 months. Businesses are shut down. Everybody's losing their livelihoods, right? Some people are getting this. Some people are not. I mean, what's really ironic about this conversation is that my pastor and I, Dean Myers, we were in Washington, D.C. at an APAC conference. And that is the moment that COVID really hit the country. Even during that conference there in the Washington Convention Center, they said, hey, listen, everybody, we know that you're happy to see your friends. You haven't been together for a year, but you know what? Kind of try to keep your distance. There's a little bit of sickness going around and all those kind of things, right? So we were like, well, that's kind of weird. And people have talked about COVID. We heard a little bit about it. Well, lo and behold, we get back here and it wasn't a week or so later, my pastor gets really, really sick. We find out that we're sitting with people from New Rochelle, New York, which was the epicenter of COVID. And he gets it so bad that, he's in the hospital. The doctors don't think he's going to make it. His lungs are a complete disaster. And at one point they told him, you might want to call your family in. And there's a lot that goes with that story. And I tell you what, you want to talk about a great story when it comes to COVID and things like that. You could have my pastor on here sometime. You want to talk about by the grace of God that he is alive today. But I remember I was working at the school, Dirk, and they came to the office to get me. They were like, Mark, the health department from Belmont County just got a hold of our health department. They said that you were with Dean Myers. He has a really bad case of COVID. We need you to go home. And said, remember, that's in 20. Now, thank God, at that moment now, I didn't have it like Pastor Myers. And I'm really grateful to say that the Lord rose that man up and healed his lungs and set him free of that sickness. And he's alive today because of it. Now, you fast forward 1 year, we're getting ready for football season in August of 2021. My son Matthew is a senior. I'm coaching like I always am, all those kind of things. And that strand of COVID that year hit me like a ton of rocks. Now, Dirk, I mean, and you and I, we've talked many times about this, and maybe like a lot of you that are watching, I got so sick. I was so weak. I could hardly stand up on my feet. It was hard to take a deep breath. I just have never been so wiped out in my life, never. And it was just like weeks and weeks and weeks. And as I tried to fight this and fight through this, and I'm trying to still coach and be there for my son and all those kind of things, because by that time, COVID is still a big deal, but not like 2020. But I have it, and then my son Mark gets it. I mean, he was sick, not as much as me. But again, I was just so drained that one night before our Indian Creek game out here, which was our senior night in 21, I was so sick and so weak that I felt something inside happen, Dirk. Like something happened to me. Like I was paralyzed with fear, because I thought I was going to be so weak that I might collapse on the sideline, or I might collapse and my wife might not be able to help me. And I just knew that something was wrong. And it was my anxiety, right? Because not being able to take a deep breath. And again, at this point, I don't know anything about anxiety. I don't know anything about any of that. Nothing at all. But I just knew that there was something happening inside that was literally killing me. And I'm like, what am I going to do? No matter what I did or how much I tried to get my mind off of it, it was just I was on fire, electrified. So with that, the next day after that game, I came home that night and I felt okay. But that next morning when I woke up, Dirk, on top of that anxiety, I felt this wet blanketed depression on me. Everything just kind of felt gray. And this is the part, Dirk, where you and I was talking a little bit earlier. I really want people to know. There's many of you people out right now that are watching this, and you have anxiety too, right? And you think that you're unique because you feel alone, you feel desperate, you feel all these things, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, there's something wrong with me. And then you're depressed, and your depression, your anxiety are fighting one another. Your depression makes you care about nothing, while your anxiety makes you care about everything. Mm. Well, I can tell you tonight, as I'm sitting in the seat, if that's you, I know exactly who you are, I know exactly where you're at, and I know exactly what you're feeling. I mean, I have never felt so desperate, Dirk, not in all my whole life. And then it started to affect my sleep. I tried to go to sleep. I would fall asleep for 20 minutes and I'd be awake. And I mean for the duration of the night. And then, of course, my wife becomes very concerned, like, Mark, there's something wrong, and we're trying to figure this out. I mean, my sleep pattern got to be so bad, Dirk. I got to be honest with you, my friend. My sleep pattern got so bad that I literally thought in my mind, probably because of my anxiety, that I would never sleep a night again in my life. Like, that's how bad it was. And it wasn't long right after that is whenever, and Dirk, I'm sitting here right now and I am completely lost on who brought your name to my attention. I cannot remember how I got your name or your number, but I know that I got it. And I remember calling you and leaving you a message and kind of letting you know that I needed to talk to you. I was that desperate. I didn't know this man. I didn't know anything about what he did. All I knew was I needed help, and I needed it now. And it wasn't, I don't know. I remember a very short period of time going by. I mean, like inside of that day, you called me. You didn't know who I was either, other than maybe by seeing me. And you said, Mark, this is Dirk Harkins. How can I help you? What can I do for you? And I told you my situation, and it wasn't, I think it was only within the next like 3 days, you had a doctor here from California to give me a brain EEG to find out exactly what in the world was going on with me, right?
Yes, sir.
And then it wasn't just, a few days after that, you called me up and said, hey, we got your thumb drive out here. Come out here. We're going to start you on this TMS. Now, again, I know that this right here, this session is about TMS, but people have got to know, I think, Dirk, unless, whatever you think too, but like they have to know that this TMS is not just something that you and I are trying to put out at the sheriff's office because we're trying to put something out there that's just like cool or something that's just some kind of a novelty. This is something that's really going to help people. Because I remember on the onset of that, and even in that moment, I'm like 2.5 months or something like that into this anxiety and depression that I just can't understand. And I remember after the first few sessions of that, being able to sleep better. I remember you even gave me a watch that tracked my sleep, tracked if it was deep, if I was waking up in the night and all those kind of things. And I really began to feel better. My mind was starting to become a little bit more clear, a little bit more sharp. And I remember we got all those sessions. I did all 30 of those sessions. And
didn't you do them in 15 days?
I did. Well, because there's an 8-hour time, between like when you can do them.
Yeah.
So I was going out to the sheriff's office at that point at 6 o'clock in the morning and at 6 o'clock at night. And again, that should tell you really that my desperation level, because again, I had no idea what was happening. And I tell you what, Dirk, I think that there are so many people out there that struggle and fight and battle every day with this raging anxiety that lives inside of them. They don't understand. They think that they're a mental case or that there's some stigma about, oh my goodness, if I say this, people are going to think that I'm crazy or think that I don't know or think that, I'm losing my mind or all those kind of things, when all the while their nervous system is just sensitized. The chemicals in their brain might be a little bit out of whack, a little bit out of place. Yeah. And TMS, by the grace of God and getting to meet you and how this medical treatment come along, TMS really, really helped me in that 30 days and turned a lot of things around. The biggest part definitely was my sleep, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's usually the number one thing that we see within the first week or so is that sleep patterns. Everybody gets better sleep patterns. But I want to touch on a couple of things you said, like you said we're not just bringing this out here because it's something fancy and shiny to the sheriff's office. Neither one of us have we don't get paid for this. Nope. We don't get no pay. This is coming out of a nonprofit I'm trying to do because I want to bring this to our veterans, first responders, and other people who need it out there in our area. Because I think every person who walks the face of this earth could benefit from this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And we had it here. This is where it kind of spearheaded, right out here in our rural areas. And it was jerked out from underneath of us. And I was told it's not coming back, you know what I mean? And not to even worry about it. And that was unacceptable to me.
Right.
And it is unacceptable still to me. So I went down a different avenue and we were able to get it back.
Yeah.
But we're not in here because we're getting paid from it or anything. We're just doing it because it changed the direction of our lives, our families' lives, and everybody around us. You know what I mean? Made us better husbands, made us better fathers, made us better friends, made us better everything that we're involved with. So we're just doing it because we're passionate to help other people. And like you said also, that stigma of thinking, man, why do I feel this way? I'm the only person that ever feel that way. No, you're not. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's
That's right.
people out there, because I'm one of them. Mark just said he knows exactly how you feel. You know, I know that there's that number 22 veterans a day. So that's for real. There's other people out there who was having the same thought process as I was, you know.
Absolutely.
But by the grace of God, he stepped right in and put TMS in my life at the right time. But, you know, when we had this out the sheriff's office there several years ago, we had people coming through there. At one time, we had 2 machines, and there was 22 folks a day that was signed up to come through that a day. Mm-hmm. And we had from 8 to 83.
Yeah.
You know, a young girl 8 to a lady who was 83, and every single one different diagnoses, different effects. You know, some might have sleep problems, right. Some had anxiety, depression, migraine headaches. We just watched it help and fix all kinds of things, addictions.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. You know, I mean, that's the bonds that the folks would make out there as they would come in and do the, you know, people's appointments would blend over, and then you would just see them staying over. You know, we would have people come out there. You all saw the results. Some of these folks couldn't even look you in the eye, and talk to you. They were so nervous about even being out there just to get outside of them 4 walls. They finally came out there to do this, but it changed their lives. You know, your story is a powerful testimony on what it's done. I could talk for 3 days on just what I've seen. You know, just a change in the direction of people's lives. But you know, it's just sad to think that at some point in time, they took it from here and just focused on the Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati areas.
Yeah.
But
right.
Like you've said before, there's no difference in our struggles and what we're feeling and what we're dealing with.
Right. That's
out here in Cadiz, Carrollton, and Coshocton, and they are in them big C's.
That's
what they call them.
Yeah.
So it's real exciting. So there's a couple different projects that we work on with Operation Veteran Payback, and then also you're at the Sheriff's Department. So you're kind of on both sides of this, you know what I mean? We're trying to raise some money to get this equipment out there.
Yeah.
We're in the process of trying to raise for the first year $33,000 so we can bring this equipment in out here.
Yeah.
And both companies are working real graciously with us with the Sonals and the EEG machine. So it's really exciting. I think sooner than later we have it. I would like to have one sitting right here between us so we could show everybody.
Yeah.
But when I talked with yourself and Mark, well, Mark, he's been getting on me. Our Deputy Sheriff, Mark Tubble, he's been getting on me quite a while since this thing's come out. You know what I mean? And he's talked to me pretty firmly about it a couple of times because he was like, I was like, you got to help me out. Make some phone calls, you know what I mean, and stuff. We'll see what we can do. But now he's pretty excited. And when I talked to both of you two about this, I said, hey, guess what? It's coming.
Yeah, and the sheriff has been really great about this situation. Of course, I know he's been on you, always hounding you about when we going to get this back, Dirk, because, again, I know the sheriff was on TV whenever you spoke with the commissioners. The sheriff was on TV, and I think a lot of people out there seen our sheriff speak about some of the people that he's seen have that direct impact on them from TMS. Yeah. He's seen, what it did with me as well. So, when he came over and talked to me about this, he was like, Smitty, he was like, I have an idea. And, him and we went out into the lobby area of the new jail. We do have a great visitation room that is there. The door is locked. So like that is going to probably be the spot that we are going to put the TMS. Yep. So people will be able to come in. Of course, myself, our administrative secretary, Mandy Huntsman, our jail commander, Tommy Smith. There's a bunch of us that are going to be there, willing, wanting to help as people come through the door. Like I said, I think this is a really good and exciting way to help people in the community. I think that people are going to see a great benefit, just like they did before, maybe even better. And again, Dirk, I think you said it before we started. I don't see this as any kind of a coincidence. You and I have met like it's going on, 5 years ago. And I attribute it to the Lord bringing our friendship full circle. The way this has all happened. You watched what I walked through. You were my brother. You had definitely had my 6, man. And you helped me through that too. My wife, my kids, obviously my church and prayer, and mostly God to get me through that situation. And here we are. I don't find it any coincidence that now I'm the jail administrator, my sheriff highly wants TMS back in our office, and you are put in a situation to be able to get TMS back in Harrison County, not for a short period of time, not for a contracted amount of time, but probably for a permanent amount of time. And again, brother, I definitely see that as a blessing from the Lord, and I really can't wait to get this started. When all of it comes out, I know you're going to be sharing some really cool information about some fundraising and stuff that we're going to be doing too. But I just want people to know they don't have to be nervous. You don't have to be afraid. There's not going to be judgment there, just like Dirk didn't judge me when I called him up and I said, Dirk, I really need your help. It's going to be something where, in addition to whatever else that you're going through or whatever else that you have helping you, that we're going to be there to help as well. And I think that that's going to make a big splash in this community. And again, I want that stigma of anxiety and depression and all that kind of stuff to be gone with people, for them to be able to say, hey, listen, just like I did with you, Dirk, even though it might have been hard for me at that point because I never dealt with it before, but to say, listen, I need your help, man. I don't know what's going on with me, but I just know that the feelings that I'm feeling are not legit. It's not who I am. It's not who I want to be. I don't want to have dark feelings and all those kind of things. I know that God has got something better. I know that, there's a better way. And I really do. I just thank the Lord for our friendship, for this opportunity that we have. And again, I just hope that people really respond well to this as we get started, and they really understand the benefits of it.
Harco Media is proud to partner with Mizer Printing Graphics. Are you ready to meet your New Year's resolution and shop local? With competitive pricing and quick turnaround, Mizer Printing Graphics is here to help. Family owned and operated since 1986, they take pride in making your ideas come to life. Everything from birthday and wedding invitations, campaign signs, banners, envelopes, to order forms, they've got you covered. All you got to do to get started is call or email today. Access the email or the phone number or the Facebook page in the description of the show. Once again, Harco Media is proud to partner with Mizer Printing and Graphics.
Yeah, I do believe that we are going to have a good response to this. There's, and I'm with you on that. I do know that this is part of the perfect plan, that we are lined up to be sitting here, from that first conversation we had 5 years ago. Yeah. This is what it's about. And I do believe that in the future we're going to have a lot more things to do. We're not done yet. And I do hope that TMS, and I pray that TMS machine will be in Harrison County at that sheriff's office long after I'm gone, to continue to help the future generations, And as it evolves and upgrades, we'll just upgrade the technology with it,
Yeah, absolutely.
But everybody can take advantage of it. There's priority right at the moment, because we're bringing it out here and everything's been through the line item for veterans and first responders, but we're people helping people. Everybody else still has struggles out there, and we're not turning anybody away, So if we have to go try to get another machine, that's what we do. And we just get aggressive and we sell some more tickets and we help more people out, But we're going to have one here in Harrison County, and we're going to have another one that's going to go down into Meigs County, out on the western side of Ohio. All of those underserved populations that are 1 hour outside of our brick and mortar.
Mm-hmm.
We had some out here before, and we had it over at Barnesville Hospital, and we had Youngstown. We had some places a little bit closer out for some of our rural areas, and they've shut those down as well. Mm-hmm. So now we have to take it to them, and this is what we're going to do. So hopefully, as this goes on and people see the benefits and start experiencing it, we can raise some more money, bring in a couple more machines, so we can just start reaching more people. We could bring it right. The nice thing about these machines, like Mark, they just take up a little space.
Absolutely.
And you just plug it in, chill out. You set it on your head, chill out for a little bit, go in a little relaxation.
Sure.
So
it's a great time to reflect, a great time to pray. You just sit there and you just wait for that thing to do whatever it needs to do, and then you're on your way.
Yeah.
Again, I remember when I think there might be a stigma between, for people even thinking about, like, well, what in the world is TMS? Like, what kind of machine they hooking me up to? Do I have to go into some kind of a big surgical room? Well, it's like, it's just a little contraption that fits on top of your head with a little machine there. And actually, when I first seen it, Dirk, I was, just to be honest with you, I was like, wow, that's it? That's all there is to this? Yeah. That's not even that much, really. But again, the job that it did and I think that when it comes to this and people can understand, if they look this up, transcranial magnetic stimulation. I was like, oh my goodness, my Google search went crazy whenever you first told me about it. I'm like, what in the world is this? And then you really learn that those magnets are just basically by what your EEG says, pushing and pulling on those chemicals in your brain to put them back in the right spot again.
Yeah, basically Control, Alt, Delete, getting everything refreshed right back where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Your sleep patterns start getting better. If you sleep good, you eat good, you have a good start at the day. You know, and the number one thing we're seeing, like we have Vietnam veterans who've come through there and haven't slept more than half hour at a time because noises wake them up.
Right.
50 some plus years, Mark, they've done this.
Yeah.
They can't sleep through the night. Suicidal tendencies. Some of them, actually, this number 22, our Vietnam veterans are leading the way with suicide because now they're back and now they're at that great age group where they're retired and things are settling in on them. You know what I mean? And this is where we really, I really like to go after those guys because, I appreciate and respect everything they've done, paved the way for us, and way they didn't let us get treated the same way as they did when we came home. They did not let that happen. So we owe it to our brothers and sisters and to help them.
Absolutely.
And this has been one of the most amazing things I've ever seen benefit those guys. It don't like Mark said, don't come in a bottle.
Right.
And it don't come in a jar or a can.
Right. That's right.
It's something that's non-evasive, pain-free, and it's totally free to your pocket. So what do you have to lose to try it?
Absolutely. I mean, again, that is it's a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful opportunity for the community.
Yeah.
And like you said, Dirk, I love to come on here and I love to laugh and joke with you and stuff like that. And as I got thinking about this, I'm sitting there thinking like, this is really fun for you and I to be able to help the community, but what a serious moment for somebody that I know is going to be watching this and going, oh my goodness, these guys just described me to a T.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on edge all the time. I can't keep a conscious or a clear or a concise thought in my head. My anxiety rages all the time. And again, like you say, doing this for the community, and once they are able to come in and do all the things they need to do to be able to do these sessions for nothing, that's a blessing from God. Exactly. I don't see that anything less than a blessing from God. And again, I want to make sure we hit all these points about it being right here in town, about it being in a safe spot, about it not costing anything, about no judgment being passed on them. You know what I'm saying? About them being able to be comfortable to come out and trust us to help them. And I'm sure I just can't even imagine. And I've heard so many people, Dirk, like yourself and myself, talk about, oh my goodness, I haven't had a good night's sleep for years. Or, my mind won't shut off. Yeah. And all those kind of things. It's amazing sometimes, that straw that breaks the camel's back sometimes can be really, really heavy. Yeah. And for some people, like myself, I'll just speak for myself. I know that when my back was broke from all of that kind of stuff, I needed help. And it was a wonderful blessing to be able to reach out and have somebody like you reach back and say, I got your six, man. Yeah. I'm going to help you through this. So again, I hope that everybody will take that same opportunity to let us help.
Yeah, I hope so too as well, because if God has his hand on it, man, we can't stop the limits on this one. And I feel like I know he's got his hand on this. I see things all the time happening. I hear people reaching out and they need it. In some of the ways, some of the folks can help us out there. We just talked about that $33,000 that we need to raise. And that's to buy the EEG machine. Once it's bought, it's paid for forever.
Yeah.
There's no more monthly subscription, whatever it is. We get the Sono machine. There's like a $1,500 month subscription to operate that. But at that point in time, as many as we can fit in that day in that schedule, we can help them.
Absolutely.
Free of charge. So
yeah.
One of the ways we're doing this is we just got these tickets today. Operation Veteran Payback is the nonprofit that is bringing the machines,
yep.
fighting for the technology,
yep.
and doing some legwork out there. But we just did the thing that you were talking about where yourself and Mark was at the county commissioner's office, and I appreciate you guys going up there having my six on that one.
Absolutely, bro.
And that was just great. And some people heard about this. So first out, I want to give a big shout out to Ryan Marker from Marker Farms in Jewett. Man, he gave me a call the day after that and said, we want to help the veterans and the first responders in the community. Yeah. And he donated a half a beef and a whole hog.
He is so awesome.
That is awesome.
That is so awesome.
And he said, it started out as a half a beef. 15 minutes later, he calls me up. He goes, Dirk, how about this? He goes, I don't know nothing about selling any tickets, but I know how to raise beef and raise hogs and stuff. He said, so.
Yes, he does.
He does. And so he said, how about we have a first prize winner and a second prize winner? I'll donate a half a beef and a whole hog for a second prize winner. $10 a ticket. He said 1,000 tickets. So you have the opportunity to raise $10,000 for this cause. And I about passed out when he said that. I was like,
man.
So, and then he'd been talking to Clint Barr from Cadiz Bar Farms, and he's paying for the processing for both of the animals. So you don't have any pay for the processing, any payment for the beef. And TJ Mizer, one of our sponsor and partner, is MPG, Mizer Printing and Graphics. He donated the 1,000 tickets. So this is what people helping people in our community is.
Absolutely.
Jumping in, seeing the need, and helping us. So I'm so grateful for all you. I just mentioned for what you've done to help us. So now this is where everybody else out there can help us. $10 a ticket for half a beef or a whole hog.
Yeah.
We'll give you a deal, 2 for $20 special coming up. That's a good deal, right?
That's some good math, Dirk. I love it. Yeah, man. That's good math. It's a good deal.
Hey, I always tell everybody I don't know the capital of Missouri because I was never good in math, but I got that one right, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
But 2 for $20, $10 a piece. We have Zelle, and it's Operation Veteran Payback at gmail.com, and you can go on Zelle on our account for our thing, or you can hit me up. We're going to have some people out there with these tickets. I'll be talking more about these later, but that's one way you can all help us raise some money so we can, the sooner we get it, the sooner we get the technology out here.
Absolutely.
But I don't really know. What else is there that we might, we hit on everything here? I mean, we stress the importance. We just want, we want people to take advantage of this. We want, before we go, let's just hit this one more time.
Okay.
Because you're not out there alone. If you're feeling the things that we felt, like we just talked about, experiencing some of the things that we've experienced in our life, and it's a judge-free zone when you're coming to us. We felt that way before, and there was a time where we felt like I was on an island by myself, brother. You know what I mean? I felt that I was the only one that probably ever felt that way, and I'm not.
Right.
And it takes strength, and it takes courage to come forward and say, hey, brother, I need your help. And we're not going to bat an eye.
Yeah.
We're not going to do a background check on you. We're going to help you.
That's
you
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a child of God. We're going to help you out.
Absolutely.
So take advantage of this. Don't sit in them four walls. Don't sit in that junk that you're sitting in. Don't sit in that depression. Don't sit in that anxiety. Don't sit in that not being able to sleep every night. You got that anxiety and depression you were talking about earlier. You'll never get a good night's sleep. That's crippling. In the middle of the night, that stuff just overwhelms you. Your mind never stops. And then that's where you start thinking some bad things. So
absolutely,
don't get yourself there. We have guys sitting right here who love you, who got your 6, people helping people. Reach out to us.
Absolutely. Dirk, I'm just reminded what the Bible says, that God's perfect love casts out all fear. And I think that when we operate and move in the love of God the way that we are designed to, the way that we are supposed to, the way that we are commissioned to, I think that people ultimately feel that you're not after anything, that you're not looking for any kudos or awards. You are legitimately trying to love on people in the same way that Christ would love on people. He didn't expect anything other than obviously for them to submit to his lordship. What I'm saying is that when the love of God is operating inside of us and we're reaching out like this, I think that we have an opportunity to see some really incredible results, because I have to be honest with you, my brother, I put it in the Lord's hands, and I know that whoever's watching and whoever's hurting, I am dependent upon the Holy Spirit of God to minister to that person and say, there it is. There's your chance. Reach out to Dirk, reach out to Mark. There's people out here that love you. There's people out here that actually care about you, that want to see you come out of the darkness that you're finding yourself in. And one day, Dirk, I have no doubt about it, brother. I have no doubt. And we will rewind this back. There's going to be plenty of people sitting right here in this chair talking to you and I about how this opportunity that has been presented to this community has helped them And they are going to be on here looking in that same kind of a camera saying, listen, it helped me. It can help you too. I'm really looking forward to that day when those people will be sitting in this studio saying the same thing that we're saying right now about how great of an opportunity this was, how it helped them, and how God brought them out of the darkness and into a great light, man.
I do believe that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
100%, because all they got to do is make that first step and reach out to us. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And then it's all over.
Yep.
That being said, man, I really appreciate you coming on here again with
Thanks
me, brother.
for having me, brother. I
And
appreciate
it's
that,
always a great time.
Absolutely.
And I know that we're out there, we're touching some people, we're helping. That being said, God loves you. I got your 6. Until the next time.
Lord bless you.